Yo, what's happening guys, King GBL here and welcome back to a brand new Pokemon Go video. Today we're running a very spicy fun team with a triple starter lineup. We're going for Swampert, Blaziken and Charizard, and we're actually running a double nuke on Blaziken. We're running Overheat and Focus Blast, not because I'm, a really fun player. I actually run out of all my charged TMs after the Team Rocket event. Let me know guys, did you get yourself a Vulpix? I only managed to get myself one, but I did get to TM a lot of good Pokemon, so I'm pretty happy with the Team Rocket event overall. Now we're actually running with this team in the Open Ultra League. I tried running this in the Open Premier or the Ultra League Premier, and it didn't really perform that well because you tend to get quite a lot of counters. There's a lot of starter Pokemon in that cup, so I feel like it worked a lot better. But coming into this matchup right here, we're just going to counter down the Obstagoon. We resist all of these moves. Well, Cross Chop doesn't do too much damage, and look how quickly you can take him out. I'm actually running a really high IV Blaziken here, and I decide, okay, I'm going to get a little bit of energy on Blaziken and come in with the Charizard and start going for Dragon Claws. We had a 2-shield advantage coming into this matchup, and this is still pretty tough. Like, Giratina is quite a bulky mon, and as you can see, we've only got him down to about half health, but the Giratina threatens to one-shot us here with the Ancient Power. He does actually go ahead and bait me with the Dragon Claw. Very good bait by the opponent. I'm kind of forced to shield everything that it throws, and this should be the Ancient Power right here. So we're going to say goodbye to Charizard, but Blaziken is going to come in and try to go for the farm down. I cannot eat another move, so I decide to go for the Overheat, and I need something weak in the back. If I don't have something weak in the back, this match is over. And in comes Caesar. Caesar is not going to appreciate this one bit. In comes the big Overheat. Bang. Good night. See you later. See you later. I just melted the coat off that insect, and on to the next one, guys. Swampert into Blaziken. Very good lead. The really interesting thing is the opponent decides to stay in here for a little bit. I didn't throw straight away because I was anticipating a catch, and the opponent is going ahead and stay in here, and I guess they're trying to get off a Brave Bird or something. I try to catch, what's probably a bait on Charizard. We go for the Blaze Kick, which is beautiful, and again, this is super effective damage right here. I think, okay, they're probably a little bit weak to Swampert in the back, so I'm going to try to hold on to my Swampert. And in comes Cresselia. This is probably about the best place to see Cresselia, because of course it knows Moonblast and Grass Knot, which would not be very appreciated on my Swampert. And of course Blaziken is so glassy, but the opponent lets us get off 2 Blast Burns right here, and strangely enough the opponent just lets us take it out. I'm not really sure what that was all about, but in comes the Blaziken again. We go for the Hydro Cannon. Of course Blaziken's so glassy that it wins CMP against most things, and we'll shield up this Blaze Kick. Even though it is resisted damage, Blaziken just hits like an absolute truck, but so does Hydro Cannons, and the opponent's shielding again, so I'm like, okay, time to go for the farm down, and in comes the Filthy Charm. In comes the Filthy Charm. We farm up a little bit too much here. I just sort of was thinking I want to try to get another move for Blaziken, but look at that, it just absolutely one-shots the Sylveon, and we can one-shot the Blaziken, and that's another good game, guys. This team is a ton of fun. It's definitely a very difficult team to run, and as you guys can see by my elo, I've been running a lot of spicy teams and messing around quite a lot, so I have been losing elo recently, but I'm not really too bothered. I was never really going to gain elo in the Ultra League anyway, so I'm just, trying to do some spicy fun battles, and we've got another very good matchup here. We're in against Surfetched. Surfetched is going to shield up the Blast Burn because that will absolutely one-shot about 7 of them, so that one needs to shield it up. This should be a bait, honestly. Like, I should be baiting Dragon Claws against this thing, especially because we're sort of locked in against it. And yeah, we take that out anyway. We've got even shields, and in comes the Togekiss. Can we reach the big Blast Burn? We do manage to reach it. Now, we kind of need to take this thing out because none of my team really wants to see it, and happily enough, I'm pretty happy to see that. We can just come in with Swampert and basically go for one Hydro. Don't let it get to a move. It only knows Flamethrower and Ancient Power, which is resisted, but the opponent does shield that, so again, I'm just thinking, yeah, this is a GG here. We're going to go for the big Earthquake on the Melmetal, which I actually haven't fully built one yet. I know you can get the Melmetal boxes pretty simply, and yeah, we just come in and the opponent was going to top left no matter what there. We could have countered it down or Hydro Cannoned it out. It wouldn't have really made a difference, and that's a GG, guys. Like I said, it was a ton of fun using this team, and Blaziken is just an absolute glass cannon. You guys are going to see me just absolutely destroy things with Overheat and Focus Blast in this video. But a pretty bad lead overall. Like, I actually lose CMP. I don't know how I'm losing CMP here. Like, I've got a really badly ranked Swampert, so I'm losing CMP somehow, which is unfortunate. The opponent probably has a Hundo Swampert. I tend to notice like a lot of people aren't running good IVs in the Ultra League because as I talked about in my video yesterday, it can be a little bit expensive to do so, and you sort of can get away with not having good IVs in this league. So if you guys feel like you've got a Pokemon that you want to power up but it doesn't have good IVs, don't restrict yourself to it, and You know, just power it up, honestly, and wait until later on until you've got better resources to go for a better one if you want it. But yeah, this opponent's beating me on CMP ties, which is unfortunate here. We get all the shields down. Of course, we're going to lose CMP once again. I can't really catch anything, so I just have to take it. And yeah, we're going to come in for the big farm down. Can we just about, yeah, we just about farm it down before it gets off another Hydro. And Charizard's coming in here. I'm not sure which move I should be going for here, honestly. I think Overheat is the higher hitting move, the harder hitting move. So we're going to swap into the Charizard, go for the farm down, and we'll come out hopefully with close to a Blast Burn for whatever comes in next. The opponent, strangely enough, goes for a Dragon Claw. And in comes Venu, bro. Per Venusaur, guys. Can we get a Per Venusaur in the comments down below? Good night. Man, the really fun thing about this team is I was just absolutely nuking everything. Between having Charizard and Blaziken, there was just so many nukes. Honestly, you would think like this is a really good matchup for Dragonite, but this is neutral enough. Like, these Hydro Cannons do a decent amount of damage. As you can see, it does about 30% damage. The opponent swaps out to their own Swampert, and once again, we're just going to go for the Blast Burn. If you are against the Water type, just go for Blast Burn, guys, because as you can see, that's still done like 40% damage. It is by far the hardest hitting move, and especially against the Swampert, where if they throw straight away, you're not going to get any energy off. That's what I decided to do. I decided to stay in here a little bit, because I can get off another Dragon Claw. I actually might double shield this right here. Yeah, I do double shield it. I'm not sure if this is the correct play. But we go for another Dragon Claw right here, which again would take out the Swampert. Swampert is basically the biggest problem for this team, and if the opponent obviously goes for the Hydro, I decide to catch a Hydro on my own Swampert and just keep my my Dragon Claw in the back for this Dragonite that's going to come in. So I think this was definitely the correct play. Dragonite is again like a bit of a tough Pokemon for me to deal with, so I decide I'll build up to almost Dragon Claw with my Charizard and I keep it for this Dragonite. And the opponent wins CMP here. I was raging, honestly. Charizard does not lose CMP to a lot of Pokemon, but Dragonite is one of them, so here we go. Coming in with the Dragon Claw. Is that an IV dependent CMP tie? The opponent is going to take us out here, but this is actually perfect, guys, because we're going to be able to come in with Blaziken, farm the Swampert down, but the opponent swaps out straight away, unfortunately, and the opponent just top left. They're just like, oh hell no, I ain't eating this. See, the opponent probably thought I had a Blaze Kick right there. And this is kind of like the really risky thing about this team. Like, run Blaze Kick and a nuke if you want to. Like Blaze Kick, Blast Burn, Blaze Kick, Brave Bird, Blaze Kick, Focus Blast. Don't run 2 nukes on this because it is a little bit rough. We no-shield the first one here from the Mach, and we can potentially one-shot it with Earthquake. So we're going to go for the bait here. We'll see if the opponent wants to shield up. And yeah, they do decide to shield up. We're going to go for this Earthquake, thinking the opponent won't realize that we've built up so much energy. The opponent just let it go, thankfully. In comes the Primarina, and I just swap out here because I'm not trying to get charmed down. We're going to go for this big Overheat. How much damage is this Overheat going to do on a resisted Primarina? It almost one-shots it. We actually managed to take it out, and in comes Obstagoon, bro. This should be GG. We've got 2 shields to 1. We're going to force the Obstagoon to throw here against our Swampert. We can't just shield up here. They go for Obstruct. I hate that move because if you shield it up, it's just so unfortunate. I think at this point, I'm not going to shield up anything else on the Swampert. Get their final shield here and go for Hydros, basically. But yeah, Obstruct is such a weird move. I guess in the Open Ultra League, it does make sense. We're going to let the Swampert go right here, because of course the defense is already down. We can swap it out here, go into Charizard, and 1 Dragon Claw should take it out. So there you go, guys. That's another fun one. The Primarina just got absolutely destroyed by that Overheat. Overheat just does so much damage, and it's really fun when you actually get it to land. And luckily enough, I did manage to get it. I can sort of see why Obstruct is good here, because like, look how much trouble this is for me to take it out. With it raising its defense, it's a bit of a pain. But that's a 5-0 set, guys. We did not have a lot of amazing battles with this, so we had a lot of negative sets as well, to be perfectly honest. So I'm just going to be showcasing a few more battles. And once again, we're going to go for the big Blast Burn. How much damage is the Blast Burn going to do on Tapu Fini? It does a decent amount. It does like 35-40%. It gets it down into a decent range. And this would actually take out the Tapu Fini, so the opponent is forced to shield here. The opponent thought they could probably live that, and back in comes the Trevenant. This is where having Blaze Kick would be very, very clutch, because we have to really build up to the big Overheat, and the opponent has shield, so this is where Blaze Kick is absolutely necessary on this Pokemon, in my opinion. You can't really run double nuke, and I'm just really praying that the opponent decides to let it go. You know, building up to what would be like 2 Blaze Kicks. I'm praying the opponent lets it go. We'll see what the opponent decides to do here. It's just tough, bro. Like, I sort of realized that Blaziken's kind of my win condition, so I want to sort of eat a Seed Bomb on my Swampert. go for the Hydro Cannon. In comes Obstagoon, and yeah, this is looking really difficult right here. Both of our Pokemon are in very low health, and it's going to be super hard for me to overcome this one. The opponent is going to go for the Night Slash. My only real hope here is just to completely farm down. But as you can see, we get a Simul KO, and yeah, unfortunate, that's a GG to the opponent right there. At this point, I'm like, bro, do I really not have any charge TMs left? I really did just use them all in the Team Rocket event, so unfortunately I just got the wrong moves on the Blaziken, but either way it turned out to be pretty fun, but it turned out to be pretty limiting and it cost me some matches for sure, but it was a lot of fun once you actually got the Focus Blast off, because the opponent never expects a Focus Blast. Anyway guys, we're hopping into the next one. We've got Swampert versus Obstagoon, pretty neutral. I want to say a big thank you everybody for the support in yesterday's video. My little kid, Alex, he came in like halfway through the video and started doing like a joint commentary with me, and I got so many nice comments about that, so thank you everybody for all the kind comments, I do very much appreciate that. We're going for this big Blast Burn. Obstagoon is quite a bulky Pokemon in the Ultra League, like, it can take several Blast Burns, so honestly, like, if you have an Obstagoon from Community Day, it might be worth running. We're trying to get this as low as possible, and trying to get 2 Dragon Claws off if possible. We just about get another Dragon Claw off, so I think I definitely played that perfectly. And the opponent is forced to double shield to keep switch. We can eat anything here. Hopefully it's not an obstruct, because I don't want my defense lowered on my already glassy Blaziken. But this is just perfect. In comes the Walrein. I think I could just go for an overheat here. I think an overheat would be enough at this range, but I decide I'm going to double shield this. I'm going to farm up as much as I feel like here. And yeah, I'm actually not going to let them get to another move. We're going to go for the big Focus Blast. Good night, Walrein. Overheat was definitely enough from that range. And in comes Virizion. Per Virizion. Guys, per Virizion. There's only one way this is going to end up. Good night, Virizion. It is overheat time. That is the really fun thing about Blaziken, guys. It's just an absolute monster. It it just one-shots everything. Which is, I always love those type of Pokemon. Getting into the final 3 battles here, guys. If you've made it to this point in the video, a like, a sub, and a comment is very much appreciated. We've got a joint matchup here against Swampert. We're going to stay in here and hope to win CMP against this one. We haven't actually, I don't think that was a CMP at the start. The opponent is firing off. And Alex is back in the room here. But we're going to go for this Hydro Cannon right here. We're going to see if we're going to win CMP. We're just kind of forced to play this out and see what happens. I get a lot of lag there. I was so annoyed. Alex, stop it. I only got the nice. When I should have obviously been able to do a lot more damage. We're going to go for this Hydro Cannon right here. And the way I was thinking about it at the time is, okay, you know, if this works out like this, I can just go for a big farm down with Blaziken. I was pretty annoyed, but I was like, okay, let's try to make the most of the situation. We'll go for the aggro farm down. And I think from this range, we are able to farm it down. We'll come out with at least an overheat. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 1 off a move. And in comes Charizard here. We're going to build up to almost back-to-back overheats right here, and basically play it the same way we played it earlier. We almost one-shot the Charizard, we're going to come in with our own Charizard, and in comes Mr. Metagross. It has been a cool minute since I've seen Mr. Metagross in the Ultra League, and I've actually got a highly rated one that I want to build, but look at this damage! We one-shot the Metagross, and we can pretty much just farm down this Charizard right here, and that's going to be another good one. That does a decent amount of damage. We just go for the Dragon Claw here. We can farm it down. Dragon Claw doesn't really make much of a difference. And yeah, I think the opponent top left it in the middle of that there. So another really good game. We just are I think almost every battle we're just one-shotting something. And once again, we see another Swampert. We're going to play this the exact same way. Pretty much with the Swampert lead, like, if you have an opponent that is really bad for your backline, like a Swampert, or let's say if you get like an electric type, there's some Ampharos and stuff running about the Ultra League, you have to stay in against those, obviously. Try to defend your fire types in the back, and yeah, hope to win CMP against the Swampert or whatever it is you're playing against. Swampert is just so spammy, like I don't need to tell you guys how good Swampert is. I think everybody knows at this point. And we actually win CMP. The opponent must have a fairly good high rated Swampert. Will they decide to shield? They do decide to go for it. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to not mess around here. I'm not going to let them swap out. The opponent does swap out into the Pidgeot. And I'm like, this is still kind of a problem. Like, what am I going to do against Pidgeot here? So I decide to chip it and go into my Charizard and go for some hard-hitting Dragon Claws here. The opponent goes for the Brave Bird, which is unfortunate. And we can get a little bit of farm, go for a Dragon Claw right here, which will one-shot the Pidgeot. And yeah, pretty much leave the next opponent with no farm. We get off another Dragon Claw, which is beautiful. That is the one nice thing about Charizard. If you're a little bit ahead on energy, you can do quite well. And yeah, I just basically allow it to take out my own Swampert. We'll come in, try to get the farm down with Blaziken, and we'll see what is in the back. It is Mr. Melmetal. It is Mr. Melmetal. I think you guys can see where this is going. Guys, the rock slide does not take us out. We're going to go for the big overheat. I actually accidentally overtap. I get so much lag in these battles sometimes. But it is what it is. Mr. Melmetal, good night, sweet dreams, sleep tight. And that is it for the battles, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And this triple starter team is really fun. If you want to run this, just run Blaze Kick and a nuke, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. Guys, once again, the support on this channel has been amazing. Thank you so much, everybody. If you do enjoy these videos, likes, subs, and comments are very much appreciated. And put on notifications on the channel if you do want to be notified when my videos go live. Apart from that, guys, my socials will be in the description down below. Feel free to follow any of those if you're interested. And finally, but most importantly, have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll catch you guys next time.